So I am new to Landmark about 2 years ago and brought in to set up a consulting team within Landmark, basically looking at how can we get the data out better to our customers. One of the things we've come across in discussions with Josh is Envirocheck GIS. We are very much, Josh has given us a really good background on what Envirocheck is. A lot of you in the room will know Envirocheck, but very much it is a PDF or a lot of PDFs with a lot of very detailed maps and tables with data. So what we've found out is that a lot of our customers now want to actually have that data on their computers within a GIS system. So we're now moving towards this GIS, well, I call it ECGIS, but Envirocheck GIS, because we've got this market demand for it. We have a huge amount of requests in for bespoke data orders, and primarily it is built up of Envirocheck data. So we want to, improve our delivery times, improve our ordering times, and improve the quoting times to our customers. These things are taking a lot of time and a lot of delay, but we want to make that as short as possible. And the way we're going to do that is to look at standardizing some of these data sets that we're giving out. So at this stage, it's not a pick and choose of, I want these data sets. It's more of a, here is what you're going to get for a set price, dependent on site area. And that means we can scale delivery. We can really much turn it around really quick to you guys. We give you the same data set, and all we need to do is change the input area. We can get it out fairly quick. But the main aim of this is also to make it really easy for everyone to use. I'm a GIS person from my background, sitting there pulling in all of these data sets, styling them, using them, takes time. You don't want to be sitting there doing that, so we're going to do that for you. So the data that we give out will be pre-styled, and there will be the styling available. So I keep pressing the wrong button. What's in the actual product? Well, there's going to be 122 data sets. That's under review with the SEPA data coming out recently, so we are hoping to add SEPA data into it, but we are waiting for the go-ahead. So most of those data sets are already within the Envirocheck reports. You're going to get the attribution alongside the data. And to make it easy to use, we've split it into 8 separate themes. So there'll be 8 data bundles delivered out rather than kind of one, just to make it a bit more easy to engage with. As a starting point, we're doing geo packages, which is my personal favourite. You get to do a lot of cool things with geo packages, incorporating all the style within it. And it is useful and able to be used in most systems. But because of Esri, we'll keep the file geodatabase in there as well. Maybe at a push we'll allow shapefiles if required. But there's so many restrictions with shapefiles and so many files that we have to give out. So we're aiming to keep it at geopackage in file geodatabase at this stage. The styling is going to be based on Envirocheck as it is. So the styles you get in Envirocheck, you'll see in QGIS or Esri when you load it. So we'll have style files available for QGIS. It will be inbuilt in the geo package, and there'll be the Layer X files for Art Pro as well. And additionally, we're going to start sending out the feature count, so you can have a quick overview of those data sets, exactly how many features you've got, or which features actually, what data sets don't have any features. And we're going to start sending out some simple metadata. It's not going to be the full complete metadata at this stage, but you'll get information around the title, the description of the data set, the attribution, most importantly, the copyright and data currency information as well. So that will be coming out with the data. So the themes and data sets, so I'm going to just go through each of the themes and kind of give you an overview of what data sets are in there and what they might look like, or what they do look like. Agency, so you get all your information around the kind of pollution prevention and control data sets. In agency, flooding, all your flood defences, your extreme flooding, your zone 1, 2s and 3s, as well as hopefully, fingers crossed, SEPA data as well. Josh is nodding, I'm going to take that as a good sign. Geological data, which is the biggest by far, but you get all your BGS data around your boreholes, your 50K geology, your 625K geology, the mining data, ground stability. So there's a lot of data in there. Oh, and don't forget radon. Radon's very important. Hazardous substances, so anything that might explode. Hydrological, so the discharge consents, your aquifer information, water networks as well. Your industrial land use, so what's been there in the past. So looking at your fuel stations, your potential contaminated industrial use land uses is coming out. Sensitive land, so everything from Nature Scott and is it?
Natural England?
Pardon me?
In Scotland, Natural England?
It's not, it's Historic Scotland.
Yeah.
Is the word I was looking for. Data will be coming out in there. And the waste information as well, so everything about landfills and waste transfer sites. We also have added in an extra package of data, which is actually the area of interest and the buffers. So you know exactly what area we've run it on and the buffers we've used to extract the data, because some of the data sets are extracted at different buffers, so you'll be able to see, is that a 250 buffer, is it a 1,000 buffer of your site. So in practice, this is the pretty screenshots. You've got your buffers, you've got the pink and purple buffers as in Envirocheck, and you can literally drag and drop these in to QGIS, and they come out beautifully styled and nicely grouped as well. So it's really easy to get started with. I must point out at this point in time, there's no base mapping coming with the delivery or historic maps, which we will look at developing other ways of those, easier ways and means for those in future for the historic maps. So this is a traditional Envirocheck site sensitivity map. You can see as we zoom in, you've got your, lots of points and lots of boxes with numbers next to them to say which reference number it is. And you can see you've got discharge consents and waste transfer sites. So in QGIS, you get it looking exactly the same. You've got the blue diamonds for discharge consents, the green, the orangey pentagon for waste transfer sites. So you can see the styling's carried across. And you can very easily get the attribute stuff. You're not flicking back to a different part of the report to get information about what those points are. Another one, here's the industrial land use. So as we zoom in, you can see how busy these reports get and how hard they are to read. You can see in the purple there, you've got your contemporary trade directories, and all the other stars are points of interest data. And we can take that straight into QGIS or Esri and start interacting with it and identifying information. But it's not just creating those maps that you've already got. You can start overlaying the data in different ways. So you can start looking at some of those potentially contaminative land uses and then overlaying things like the fuel stations or the historic tanks and actually seeing like what could be the sources of these contaminative land. And you can start interacting with the data and working with it on a more detailed level than the reports allow. Just a couple more screenshots. The flooding data with your kind of risk of flow from the rivers and seas, and geological data. So it's all coming in really nicely, and it's really quite a quick turnaround for getting this data exported as well, which is really nice. So what's next? Well, we've actually got it working in tablet version for QField. We have it over there if anyone wants to have a look at a sample for this building. But it's basically, you can take that into a tablet very easily from the Geo package and start working on site with it. You know, you can validate the data live with on your tablet. You can collect data alongside the Envirocheck data as well. We can also do a demo of it on QGIS as well. We've got over there if you want to in the next wee bit. Today is kind of the soft launch for it. So if you're really interested in it, speak to your account manager. There's a few in the room, but we are very much kind of doing a soft launch. We've got a few final tweaks to figure out, but it is pretty much there, so we can start kind of working that, taking that forward. And we're definitely wanting feedback. Feedback is always welcome. Please let us know what works, what's missing. If there's any other data you want to see, if something's not quite, if you want more metadata or anything like that, we kind of need that feedback to improve the product. And as I said, we've got a demo if anyone wants to have a wee play. I said questions, but...
That was a good one.
Weird.